Hi, it's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and today I'm finishing up that cake that I was showing you yesterday that I started to work on. Now this is a display cake, but you could also do this with real cake utilizing the same tips. Now there are some structural things going on here, so if you were using real cake, you could just use the same 4 little styrofoam feet that I have there, but then just put a straight, strong cake board all the way across, and then put your cake on top. The rest of the decorating process is going to be all the same. In order to get that fondant to adhere to the styrofoam, I am using some shortening. I absolutely love this pastry cutter. It gives me the most even cuts, and this works especially well when I'm paneling things. So you'll notice here that I'm cutting little strips, and then I'm using this little fondant smoother to make sure that everything is nice and straight. Now I am going to be adding on more things to this cake later on in the week for my nephew's birthday, but I wanted to get this part done first and show you guys how to just make a classic little wagon filled with Easter eggs. This tutorial is actually very simplistic. It's really all about making sure that all of your paneling is straight. Now you can choose to do this however you see fit, but I am adding a little bit of a wood grain to this, and I don't end up airbrushing it or anything. I wanted to keep it really kind of fun and cartoony looking. I ended up adding a few knot holes as well. Now I was looking at a picture of a wagon that was kind of based off of those old-fashioned wagons. I really wanted this to have kind of a woodsy vintage feel, but still have a modern twist. So that's why I'm using colored panels here. Whether you're working on a display cake or a real cake, I really do love to steam my fondant in between just so that everything sticks really easily. If you don't have a steamer, then you can definitely just use water, or if you want to make sure that everything is staying in place really well, get some Tylose powder, mix it with water, and there you have a clear edible glue. Now, of course, we want to cover up those styrofoam feet, so I'm going to create my little wheels for my wagon, and I am making sure the fondant is just a slight bit thicker because I don't want anything to be showing through when I place this on. If I make it too thin, then I'm going to see all the detail of that styrofoam coming through, so I am making it just a little bit thicker. And just a side note, I always use cornstarch to prevent anything from sticking. I'm also going to add a circle in the middle of each of my wheels. To create the handle for the wagon, I really wanted to make this easy on myself, so I'm just using one of those wooden dowels that I usually use for my tiered cakes. To adhere that to the cake, I did use some hot glue, but honestly, it was already sticking just with the steam and fondant alone. Now all of the grass and the eggs and all of those little details are going to help me cover up anything that I don't want seen. So I do want to make sure that I'm covering up those styrofoam feet. If your cake is going to be seen from multiple angles, just make sure that it's covered in all of those spots. My apologies, but I do think I missed a little part where I put the teal handle at the top of that wooden pole there. So all I did for that was I did just directly hot glue it on. Now, of course, if you don't want to use hot glue because you're actually going to eat the cake, then do make sure that you use the Tylose powder mixed with a little bit of water, and it will stick really well. And then you can just take another piece of fondant to cover up that seam. I created some fondant eggs and mixed it in with some chocolate eggs, but if you want to make this really easy on yourself, you could put plastic eggs on the top here and a bunch of chocolate eggs, whatever you would like. Now you'll notice that there is a big white panel behind there, and that is because I'm going to be filling that up with cupcakes, and I'm also going to be adding on a smash cake to this as well. So that will be in a future video. Now let's get into the pricing of this cake. Now this particular cake is a display cake, but as you guys know from my past videos, there's not too much of a difference between a display and a real cake. I think in this particular instance, if this were a real cake, I would charge a slight bit more. And as usual, all of my pricing is in Canadian dollars. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading weekly, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!